See something there, mate? So the left-hand one was your first couple of swings to start with, okay? And we're going to show you really about the left wrist position and what that was causing the club face to do. So at setup, like most people, okay, slice or hookers, you're aiming the club face where you want to go, okay? So at the setup position, in both these cases, the club face is pointing at target. And we want to return that club back to the ball, pretty much facing in that same direction, okay? What you did in the way back on this is the club automatically now is going outside the line, yeah? I mean, you take the golf club back now, if there was a curb there, you've hit it, yeah? Yeah? I mean, that's the first, I don't know, 6 inches of the golf club going back, yeah? Just going out there. There's not much body twist, you're just basically lifting the arms up and trying to swing it out this way towards the glass curtain and then swing left. Because in your mind, the ball's going to curve left to right, so you've got to do as much as you possibly can to swing the golf club in that direction. So your club now goes out here, yeah? It then goes quite steep outside the hands. So at this point now we want to see the hands and the club head sort of in line with the camera going back. You're quite a long way outside the line, as you can see. Club now going through your head, very, very steep movement. Club at this point is vertical, and the left wrist now doing most of the backswing movement because of lack of turn. So we see the club face now, there's kind of the leading edge of your club face, okay? And we want to see it more in line with this left forearm. You can see that left wrist having that sort of what we call cupped position, yeah? So your club face at this point is based around, if that's your left forearm there, so if I do a line there, that's roughly parallel to your left. So your club face at this point now is that many degrees open at the top of the backswing. So if we base that on here, if I undo all these lines here back at the start, your club face now is aiming over there. So unless you do nothing on the way down, the ball's following that blue line. So what you have to do now is try and do something in effectively 1 second to try and send it left. Tough thing to do, yeah? Would you agree?
Yeah, that's a terrible form.
Now, I've not sort of said, I mean, we talked about that right side turning back a bit more, okay? So this club now, when you go back, still goes back a little on the outside, a little bit lower through your head now, okay? But your left wrist now is flat. Look at the club face there. So we get the top of the backswing here. There we go. So there's the leading edge, and there's your forearm. So now the club is square, whereas that club you can see, if I zoom in on these club faces, okay, I delete that one there, so you can see the difference in the club face, yeah? So that club is pointing down, that one is pointing off more to the right there, so like say 3 or 4 o'clock, that one's going to sort of 6 o'clock. So that club face is now a more, what we call square position. You've got a little bit more depth with your arms. Your hands now are over your right shoulder and further back behind you, yeah? Which will help relieve or reduce the shank element to your swing, okay? If the arms get too far forward, you're going to go over the top. You're catching the hosel of the club a lot of the time. So from here now, with the club face now swinging here, the club face now is still square. As we come back to the golf ball, we can strike the golf ball out. Again, still outside the line slightly, but that's inevitable at the moment. Club face square. Ball starts, as we can see, striking this edge of the screen there, just left of that red line, and then through to 150 yard, 8-iron with a bit of draw. Step back a bit, as you said, because you're reacting to that. I think maybe because you look where the ball was, you probably just lost your balance there in some way. So there's half the ball, half your body reaction, okay? But this one here now, when you came back to the golf ball, you're coming back with the face, say, wide open, having to chop across. Look at that club face there, into him. It's Hosley all day in here. And then you come across the golf ball. Ball starts left of that white line, but very cut and weaky, and then just starts going very, very high, very lofted. I think 110, 115 was like your best 8-iron. And now your best 8-iron's like 154, was it? I think the best one you got, with a much more forceful, straighter shot rather than sort of loopy, cutty, slicey across it, okay? So from your perspective now, you need to go away and practice that left wrist position there now. So this is staying flatter, this is staying squarer, okay? If you can get better at doing that, get that left wrist flatter, like I say, not having what we call cupped position, you'll find the club face is going to come back to ball squarer. When you then go and test that, which is the hitting of the ball at the driving range or in the sim here on the course, we want to see the majority of the shots probably doing this, yeah? Going 20 yards left to target. You know, there's water left, perhaps aim right target slightly, okay? If it goes right, okay, fair enough. But you've got to start seeing a shot go a little bit more that way. Once you feel you're kind of at, say, 3/4, 80, 90% of all your shots going right to left, and you feel great, then we'll go, okay, right, in that time frame, then we'll book you back in, we'll look at the next thing, because your left wrist position now, we'd assume, is pretty dialed in, and then we'll transition to another swing thought to change the path and change that club to start moving more towards the target. Okay?
Yeah.
So create a bit of a structure to where you're going. Make sense?
Yeah.
Excellent.